Good morning, good afternoon, everyone, actually, isn't it? Happy Monday. How are you all? Hope you're all okay. Um, I hope you're feeling a little bit lighter. Um, I know some of us were really feeling the energies last week, relating to kind of timeline shifting and all sorts of things going on, feeling like we moved into a different dimension, even maybe, all very strange, but certainly a lot of us were having real physical effects and not feeling quite like we were landed and grounded. So I hope you're feeling okay, um, and a bit more centered. So I can't believe it's the 28th of November. So I'm in here, as I do on a Monday, to channel the energies of the week so you can have an idea of what's coming, hopefully, and navigate around that. And even though the general energies last week were quite calm and positive, there was a lot else going on too. But this week it feels like there's a real possibility of, making magic happen in our lives, manifestation. What is it you want to manifest? But looking at, sometimes when we want to manifest something, we always think about creating something new. But what is it that you do already that's good enough, more than good enough, that you can focus on? So it's kind of like making it a little bit easier for yourself. And then there's also this feeling of using our mental energy as well as our intuitive spiritual side. How can you combine the two? Because when you combine kind of your logic and your intuition, then you're onto something, you're onto a winner. So it feels like maybe it's a little bit dreamy the first part of the week, where you're just seeing where you're at, and then the next part of the week, or maybe it's all going to blend together, is about really taking that step forward, taking that action, making good decisions for yourself. We don't have any much activity with the moon this week, I don't think. Next week we've got a full moon, so watch out for that as well. But this week, yeah, it just feels there could be some confusion with communication as well. That's the other thing. I know that's a theme for next week, but maybe some of that's going to be this week as well. So just sort of take a deep breath if you're feeling that, and see what you can do to still be true to yourself, but perhaps not say too much that might hurt somebody. That's kind of something that came through as well when I was checking in with my guides. So I'll just bring them in now, and they'll just confirm what's coming up as they see it. And then you can see how you can use those energies for your benefit. Also, just a reminder, I'm running my Learn to Channel course again in January. It was a massive success in September, October time. Lots of positive feedback. I just love the fact there's another 20 odd channels in the world right now. And I'm looking to not create more, but help more people be able to channel consciously. Thank you for those who already signed up. I'm just reminding you today because the early bird offer finishes on the 8th of December, so that's sort of in 10 days time, and I would recommend you take advantage of that, because then obviously it's going to increase in price. And then the other thing is, I've got an event that I've been guided to offer on the 15th of December. Now we're coming up to the solstice, winter solstice in the northern hemisphere, summer in the summer in the southern hemisphere. And I've been guided to come in and just bring messages of healing and love and everything, using my connection to Christ consciousness and diamond light energy as well. So it's very much an unconditional love type event, I think. Lots of clarity on what's coming up, what we can expect from the solstice, what's expected in the next few months in terms of our transition, awakening, all of that. So it feels quite special. So if you're interested in spending an hour or so with me on the 15th, or you could just have the recording if you're not available, then please sign up to that. Okay, here we go with the channeling. Welcome everybody, it's a pleasure to be here again today. Thank you very much for tuning in. So yeah, it's a really interesting energy we're picking up on this week. So like we've been advising through November, a lot of you have been going within and really listening to your intuition, which we're very pleased about. And of course there's a change of month this week, because on Thursday we believe it's the 1st of December, so the energy will change slightly then anyway. So what we're seeing is your ability to manifest being particularly strong this week, dreaming your reality into being, taking action steps. But what Alwyn said earlier is true. You know, what is it you can do already, perhaps that you're not doing? What is it that's easy that you can do? Because sometimes when you're thinking of creating something new or bringing something new into your life, you think of something completely new, and it could just be a revamping of what you do already. There's no need to make things hard on yourself. You are infinite vessels of wisdom, and it's that you can use to bring forth your knowledge, your wisdom, your guidance for people, or however it is, whatever it is you do in your life. Just know that you already have these skills, and you don't need to look on the outside for validation or for approval or to ask what to do next. It's all within you. So think about that. You really are the creator of your life. There's a lot of magical sort of magician energy around. Those of you working with Merlin, we feel he's going to be very active this week. Maybe tuning in with him, see what he says for you. Just taking the time to, really say to yourself, well, what is it I love to do? What is it that comes easily? What are my skills, and how can I use them perhaps in a better, smarter way? Because then we have the slightly change in energy of sort of, it's almost like wanting to use your logic and your intellect as well as your intuition, which always we do say that you should do that too. Intuition is amazing, but to get ahead, there's always a need to take action and use that logic and intellect. So we're feeling like a masculine energy here, masculine because of the need to take action. Again, what is it? So by now, by the time this energy starts to creep in, you'll already have good ideas for what you wish to do. So it's bringing them together, using your head and your heart, because then you're really delivering something that is you, that is uniquely you, because it's your combination of your mental abilities, your intellect, and your heart energy. And when you combine the two, it's really unstoppable. So again, really leaning into what makes you tick. It's going back to that energy of what is it I do already? What is my US unique selling point? What is it that I can bring which is easy? Don't overcomplicate, right? Why have an easier week. There is something brewing around communication, and we feel that's to do with the full moon, but that's next week. But it is brewing this week, so there may be a few difficulties sort of speaking truthfully without perhaps getting upset. So whether somebody's going to upset you or something, or there's just a relationship that needs something said, but in a kinder way. So how can you say what you mean, because it is about being truthful, of course, but how can you say what you mean without perhaps upsetting somebody? So it's not saying it, it's not dimming your light, it's not um, retracting, making yourself smaller. It's still being honest and truthful, but in a slightly different way. And here we've got Archangel Michael coming in, so it's a real kind of, you know, truth, but with kindness. So, and kindness to yourself as well, because it could be some communication with you yourself. Try not to be too hard on yourself. Try not to beat yourself up. How can you talk to yourself in a kinder way? All right, so that's coming in as well. So we do really wish you a wonderful week. And as you head into December, of course, and we'll be back next week with another update. Okay, so I hope that's helpful. Something about just making decisions that is quite solid, based on good foundations, which might be why they're talking about what is it you already know, what is it you can already do, even if it's what you know and what you do, but you change it a little bit. That can sometimes make something feel a bit more interesting. I know with me sometimes I go from one thing to another, and it's because it's either more exciting or I think, people want something else. But often it's the very basic, what I do best things that make a real difference. So just think about that. And I hope you have a great week.